Have you ever looked at your home and thought, I used to keep this place spotless. Why does it feel so hard now? You're not alone. And here's the truth that surprises most people. Keeping a clean home after 60 isn't about doing more. It's about doing smarter. Today, I want to show you exactly how seniors across America are staying independent, keeping their homes fresh and welcoming, without the strain, without the overwhelm. We're talking simple shifts, tiny habits and tools that make a world of difference. I remember visiting my Aunt Linda in her small Tennessee cottage a few summers ago. She's 82, lives alone, and walks with a cane. Yet somehow, every corner of her home felt like it was cared for, with love, not just with Lysol. When I asked how she managed it, she smiled and said, "Honey, I just learned to let the house work with me, not against me." That visit changed how I thought about cleaning, because it's not about sparkling floors or picture-perfect shelves. It's about how your space makes you feel safe, calm, and proud of what you've built. So in this video, I'll walk you through 10 gentle, genius cleaning hacks that seniors love, not because they're fancy, but because they work. Whether you live alone or with family, whether you're managing arthritis or just want things to feel easier, these tips are for you. Ready to lighten your load and love your space again? Let's start with the very first one. It's so simple, but it'll change how your entire day feels. You know, the older we get, the more our home becomes a reflection of how we feel inside. It's not just a building anymore. It becomes our anchor, our safe harbor, our sanctuary. And when it's clean, not spotless, just lovingly cared for, it has this quiet way of reminding us we're still in control of our lives. I remember visiting a patient, Ms. Evelyn, who had just turned 82. She'd recently lost her husband and was adjusting to being alone. Her house was small and simple, but every cushion was fluffed. The kitchen smelled faintly of lemon oil, and there was always a warm light in the hallway. She told me, "I don't clean to impress anyone. I clean because it's the one thing I still have power over." That hit home. Because at our age, so much changes. Our bodies slow down, we lose people, our daily routines shift. But the feeling of pride in your space, that doesn't have to go anywhere. In fact, it becomes even more important. When your environment is calm, your mind feels clearer. When things are tidy, you're less likely to trip or misplace something important. And when you wake up to a home that feels peaceful, your day begins with a sense of steadiness. But more than that, a clean space invites joy. It opens the door for small pleasures, a grandchild playing on the rug, the smell of a cake baking, the sunlight resting on your favorite chair. And every little act of cleaning, of organizing, of tending to your space, it tells your soul, I still care. I still deserve comfort. So no, this isn't just about mops or vacuums. It's about dignity. It's about independence. And it's about love, the kind we show ourselves in quiet, everyday ways. Now let's take that spirit of self-care and look at the first tool that can make your daily routine not only easier, but even a little joyful. Let's talk about the power of one small but mighty cleaning hack. Ready? One of the most powerful lessons I've learned from my older patients is this. It's not about how much energy you have, it's about how wisely you use it. And in a clean, well-loved home, even the tools you use can feel like trusted companions. You don't need fancy gadgets or high-end devices. What you need are little helpers, smart, simple tools that protect your joints, save your strength, and give you back a bit of ease every single day. Take the lightweight angle broom, for example. A patient of mine named Alice, who has arthritis in both wrists, swears by hers. "I can't scrub the shower wall with my hands anymore," she told me. "But that broom gives me reach without the strain. I don't have to twist or lean too much. It just works with me." and it's under $10 at most stores. Or think about small spray bottles. You might be surprised how much easier they make cleaning feel. Instead of lifting a heavy gallon jug, why not transfer your cleaning solution into a compact spray that fits your hand and doesn't wear you out? You still get the same sparkle, but with less stress on your grip and shoulders. Even something as humble as a pair of grilling tongs can be transformative. I know someone who uses them to transfer laundry from the basket to the washer without bending over. Another friend uses them to grab tissues off the floor or reach items on low shelves. It may sound funny, but tools like these restore a sense of control, especially when mobility is limited. The real beauty in these tools isn't just how they help you clean, it's how they honor your changing body. Instead of pushing yourself to the point of pain, you get to say, there's a better way, a kinder way. And that's what this section is really about, kindness. Not just toward your home, but toward yourself. Every thoughtful shortcut, every lightweight handle, every simplified task, it all says you still matter. Your comfort still matters, and your energy is precious. So next, let's keep building on that idea of ease and comfort. Because tools are just one part of the story. The real magic happens when we rethink how we use them, starting with how we structure our daily cleaning flow. Let's explore the power of setting up tiny, manageable tasks that keep your home beautiful without exhausting yourself. Over the years, one thing I've heard again and again from patients is this: my hands just don't work like they used to. Whether it's arthritis, thinner skin, or simple fatigue, many older adults find that traditional cleaning products are just too harsh on the hands, on the lungs, and on their sense of peace. But here's the good news. Staying clean doesn't have to mean staying sore. Lightweight, gentle products have come a long way. You don't have to choose between something that works and something that feels safe. One woman I know, named Grace, used to dread cleaning her bathroom. The fumes from bleach left her coughing, and her wrists ached from pumping heavy bottles. Then she discovered a plant-based all-purpose cleaner that came in a foam spray bottle, light, soft on the hands, and still tough on grime. Now, she says, cleaning doesn't feel like a battle anymore. It feels like care. And here's a small trick that makes a big difference: decanting your cleaner into a travel-sized spray. It reduces weight, protects your grip, and gives you more control. The same goes for the wipes. Pre-moistened, textured cloths let you freshen up counters or blinds in one easy swipe. No squeezing, scrubbing, or rinsing. And when you're finished, there's no need to wring out a dirty rag. But beyond the physical ease, there's something deeper here. Using products that respect your body is a form of self-respect. It's saying, I deserve comfort, and I choose tools that care for me just as I care for my home. And when your hands aren't raw and your shoulders aren't strained, you've got more energy left for the good stuff. A phone call with a friend, a walk in the garden, a quiet cup of tea. So as we keep going, let's carry that mindset forward. Cleaning isn't just about getting things done. It's about doing them in a way that honors your body, your limits, and your life. And the next piece of that puzzle is how we pace ourselves. Let's take a closer look at gentle routines and the power of doing just one job a day. You know, when I visit the homes of older patients who always seem at ease, their houses never feel frantic. They're not spotless like a showroom, but they have this calm. And every time I notice it's the little things they do, quietly, consistently, that make the biggest difference. And one woman I think of often is Mrs. Evelyn. She's 82, lives alone, and walks with a cane. Yet her home always smells fresh, and her kitchen counters never seem cluttered. Her secret? Every morning, she makes her bed, opens a window for 10 minutes, and wipes the bathroom sink after brushing her teeth. That's it. No heavy lifting, no deep scrubbing, just small, thoughtful motions that bring peace into her space. And there's a good reason why these habits work. When you do something tiny every day, you send your brain a quiet message. This space matters. I matter. Over time, those little signals build into a sense of stability, especially when the world outside feels uncertain or our bodies feel slower than they used to. Even folding a blanket before bed, rinsing a teacup right after use, or setting a timer for 10 minutes of light tidying, these acts give rhythm to the day. They create a soft kind of order that helps us feel in control without pushing our limits. And when these habits are tied to things we already do, like washing up after breakfast or turning on the evening news, they become second nature. The key isn't to do more, it's to do gently, with purpose. And as we carry this gentle rhythm into the next part of our journey, let's talk about how to set up your home so these little things become even easier. Because when everything has a place, life has a little more grace. I remember a quiet afternoon with Mr. Harold, a retired librarian who had lived in the same home for over 40 years. As we sipped tea in his sunlit kitchen, he looked around and said, "You know, I used to think that holding on to things was how I kept the memories. But lately, I've learned that letting go makes more room for peace. Decluttering at our age isn't about having a minimalist home. It's about easing the mental weight we carry, visually, emotionally, physically. When drawers are jammed, closets are overflowing, and we have to shuffle piles just to sit down, our spaces begin to steal our calm. But when we clear just a little, we breathe easier. We move through our day without friction. A graceful way to start is with one small box. Keep it near your closet or kitchen drawer. Each day, ask yourself, do I still use this? Does this still serve me? If the answer is no, let it go. Donate it, pass it to someone who needs it, and feel the relief of one less thing to clean, dust, or manage. It's not about clearing everything. It's about curating what brings comfort. Mr. Harold said it best. I didn't lose my memories when I gave away those mugs. I just made more room for joy on my shelf. And speaking of comfort, there's one often overlooked item that can bring both simplicity and safety to our routines. Let's talk next about how something as basic as the right garbage can make your day easier. Not long ago, I visited Elaine, a retired elementary school teacher living in a small, sunlit house in Oregon. As I stepped through her front door, I was immediately struck by how peaceful everything felt. There wasn't anything particularly new or expensive. No perfectly labeled containers or color-coded shelves like you see in home magazines. But every corner had purpose. Every item, no matter how small, seemed to know exactly where it belonged. I asked her, "Elaine, how do you keep it all so comfortable without all the clutter?" She smiled, handed me a cup of tea, and said something that stuck with me. "I don't organize for style. I organize so my home works for me." That right there is the heart of what I call smart zones. You see, too often, we try to follow trendy organizing systems that may look nice on a screen, but don't fit the way we truly live. We end up with baskets we don't use, drawers that get full again, and routines that feel more like chores than comforts. But when you organize by heart, not by trend, you're creating a home that actually supports your habits, your energy, your daily joys. Let me give you an example. Tom, one of my longtime patients, is a retired mechanic who's always loved working with his hands. After downsizing to a smaller apartment, he started feeling like his tools and supplies were everywhere. I asked him to try something simple. Just create one hobby zone in a corner near a sunny window. A rolling cart for supplies, a comfy chair, good light. Now, every afternoon, he spends an hour there doing woodwork or puzzles. "It's my little world," he told me, "and I don't waste time hunting for anything." That's the power of intentional space. Maybe for you, it's a reading nook with your glasses, books, and blanket all within arm's reach. Maybe it's keeping your medications, notepads, and phone charger all in a single bedside basket. Maybe it's setting up a bill-paying corner with envelopes and stamps, so you don't have to search through drawers every time. When everything has a home that makes sense to you, not just to a decorator, it makes daily life calmer and smoother. And the beautiful part? This approach doesn't require a shopping trip. It just takes paying attention to what you do every day, and then creating little zones that support those routines. It's about kindness to yourself. And when your home is kind to you, it becomes a place where you feel not just tidy, but truly at ease. Now, let's look at how you can turn these personal spaces into something even more uplifting by turning everyday chores into moments of connection and joy. Years ago, my Aunt Mildred told me something that always stayed with me. "Honey," she said, "a task shared is a burden halved." At the time, I thought she was just talking about folding laundry with her neighbor. But as I've grown older and spent time with so many wise seniors, I've realized she was talking about something deeper: how connection makes everything feel lighter, even cleaning. You see, many of the happiest homes I visit aren't spotless because someone cleaned alone in silence. They're clean because someone turned chores into little moments of joy. Like Helen, who sets aside Wednesday mornings to tidy up the kitchen with her sister over a cup of coffee. Or Robert and his grandson, who make a game out of vacuuming and dusting the living room while playing old rock music in the background. It's not just about getting the task done. It's about doing something with someone, and in the process, building a memory that matters. Shared cleaning isn't always about working side by side either. Sometimes, it's about asking for help, without guilt. Maybe a neighbor picks up the vacuum while you sort the pantry. Or maybe you and a friend trade off weeks. This Saturday at your house, next Saturday at theirs. It's not a favor. It's an exchange of care and companionship. And that, my friend, is something we all deserve. Because when we clean together, we laugh more. We feel seen. We feel supported. And at the end of the day, we don't just have a tidy home, we have a fuller heart. So if the idea of cleaning alone feels too heavy, remember, inviting someone in isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Next, we'll look at how you can turn that shared spirit into something uplifting and grounding. A simple weekly rhythm that brings both structure and serenity. Every Saturday morning, just as the sun rises over her small front porch, Miss Lillian from Georgia lights a lavender candle, puts on her favorite gospel music, and begins her reset ritual. She's been doing it for over 20 years, ever since her husband passed. "It's how I care for the house," she once told me, "but more than that, it's how I care for myself." You see, the idea of cleaning the whole house can feel overwhelming, especially as we age. Our backs tire faster. Our energy needs to be spent wisely. But a gentle weekly rhythm, something as simple as a Saturday reset, can change everything. It's not about scrubbing every corner. It's about choosing one or two deeper tasks and letting them anchor your weekend with purpose. For some, that means vacuuming under the sofa and wiping down the fridge shelves. For others, it's simply changing the bed linens and airing out the guest room. The beauty of a Saturday reset is that it brings calm, not chaos. You're not rushing. You're reconnecting with your space, your body, your memories. One of my patients, Mr. Howard, told me he uses his reset mornings to check on little things too. "I wipe down the handles, flip the cushions, check the batteries in the smoke detector," he said. "It doesn't take much, but it makes me feel on top of things." And that feeling of quiet control? It builds confidence. It restores peace. The secret is to make it your own. Maybe you start with a cup of tea or call a friend to chat while you dust. Maybe you play your favorite old records while you sweep. What matters isn't how much you do, it's how you feel doing it. And once your little ritual is complete, there's something special about sitting down, breathing in a home that feels refreshed, and knowing you've honored both your space and yourself. Now, let's talk about something just as meaningful, the emotional finish line to your efforts. A reminder that your home, at its best, is more than clean. It's a reflection of the life and love you've built within it. You know, I often tell my patients, and sometimes remind myself, that a home isn't just four walls and a roof. It's a living memory book. It holds the laughter of grandkids, the quiet of rainy mornings, the photos on the wall that whisper stories of love and resilience. And just like we care for those memories, our homes deserve a little love too. But here's the beautiful part. When we care for our home with gentleness and consistency, it gives something back. It gives us peace. It gives us confidence. It gives us that subtle joy of walking into a room and thinking, this feels like me. Take Edith, for example. She's 76, lives alone now, and she told me, when my home feels warm and clean, I don't feel lonely. I feel grounded. That stayed with me, because it's not about perfection, not about spotless counters or magazine-worthy decor. It's about living in a space that welcomes you, supports you, and reminds you every day that your comfort matters. So if today's video gave you even one idea, one moment of motivation, or simply reminded you that you're doing better than you think, then it's done its job. Start small. Pick one habit, one drawer, one song you love to play while you sweep. Because you deserve a home that loves you back. And caring for it, in whatever way feels right for you, is one of the most generous gifts you can give yourself. Now take a breath, pour yourself a cup of tea, and smile. You're doing just fine.